Of course, I've put time in this book, I've strained my liver. You'll see how much if you watch this video to the end for your entertainment. So please leave a like on this video and maybe subscribe if you like it. So let's get going. Hello, it's Monday evening and I've started reading this book again, hoping to finish it. Chapter 48, I haven't finished it yet because I just had to, to come here and tell you that. It starts with another flashback of Anya's training, where Cunningham is savaging her in order to make her break. It's her G.I. Jane moment, I guess, and I'm just waiting for Anya to meet Cunningham and tell him to suck her dick, because it's that it's clearly taken from that movie, this whole training. But you know what, it actually takes the part that is interesting, that train a woman in some sort of this rigorous set of circumstances where it will break even the most strong men. It stands to reason, and it stands to reason that she comes out as awesome killer agent because she was made mold that way. And then we get to Anya in the present, where she's the soldiers have handcuffed her and they take her to the base, and she is pretending to be drunk while untying the handcuffs. And then we go to Drake. Drake and Cunningham are in the safe house and are looking for evidence. And at some point, Drake does find that the floorboard is loose, so he pries it open. There is an incendiary grenade underneath with a trapwire, but he notices that, so he's not blown up. He takes a folder. It writes everything about how Horizon are the menace, and Mitchell has found all the evidence. So he's about to call to Washington to have someone he trusts know about this so he can be safe. And surprise, surprise, Cunningham comes in and say, all right, Ryan, we found this, so surrender, because he betrayed him again. That's a recurring theme with Drake, I believe. He's a patsy in this book. And he loses his head, but I'm pretty sure he will trip the grenade in the next few scenes to kill Cunningham and escape. And of course he does. And you probably think, that's so predictable. No, it's not exactly predictable. It's what is known as setup and payoff. And it's done throughout this book. There are a lot of setups and a lot of payoffs. You can argue that they are somewhat obvious, but at the same time they're not basic. There are some twists and turns here and there, and I've been wrong a couple of times predicting things, but in general setup and payoff are there. It's a very tropey and genre conforming book, which is somewhat of what is at fault here. But what exactly happens in the rest of the chapter? Drake was about to call his boss's boss, Dan Franklin, the guy who made him, who arranged for the deal he had with Kine and his men in the previous book, the one man in Washington he can trust. So he had called, and Franklin is able to hear what's happening on the other side. So he hears Cunningham confess the entire plan, which is that Horizon is arming Anwari in order to prop him up as an insurgent in Afghanistan, to get him closer to other Taliban leaders, and so they can execute them, and also create a tougher situation for the US Army, so they will leave Afghanistan and leave behind Horizon to do the war for them, because they are not an army and they don't exactly subscribe to the rules of war. Because yes, war has rules, believe it or not, which sounds very hypocritical, but that's life. And yeah, I mean, it's a book from 2012 and gets a very good idea of what is happening in Afghanistan in 2021. The situation, I mean, you have to commend what is commendable about this book, and Yeah, it's not great, but it's good. So Franklin listens to what's happening and calls, orders to trace the call, and calls Keegan to go and rescue Drake. Meanwhile, Drake gives Cunningham an opportunity to change his mind, to to just go towards him, to join him. He refuses, so he trips the grenade, and while there's fire and a flash, he charges Cunningham. They fight. Eventually, he manages to grab his handgun and shoot him in the shoulder, and Cunningham lives. But Drake does not follow. Instead, he rushes to grab the folder, which is only burned on the edge, so it's salvaged, I guess. And he rushes outside, where Keegan and McKnight come, and Cunningham is calling Carpenter and tells him that Drake knows everything, he's alive, he knows I work for you. And of course, Carpenter leaves him to dry. I guess that towards the end, Cunningham will return and help Drake or something like that, and sacrifice himself to do the right thing, get redeemed. But the title sacrifice now makes sense, because Horizon's about to sacrifice a lot of US Marines, US soldiers, USIF soldier actually. No, it's not a U, it's whatever. They're planning to sacrifice troops in order to get to be in the war and be the army there with as a contractor for the US. So yeah, they're the baddies here, and they're about to sacrifice a lot of lives for their purpose. And Cunningham argues that yes, this is how war is, and we have to do that because we have sacrificed people. I mean, that's a solid plan. The plot is solid. I have nothing to complain about the plot. Yeah, the characters are great though. But let's see, we have 70. We have 70 something pages left to see where this is going. So let's see where this is going. Speaking of setups and payoffs, all of this excitement with betrayals and manhunts and burning house, because we have to have some big explosions and effect work in this blockbuster action thriller. I have forgotten a lot of things, like the team is living on a Black Hawk helicopter, and they plan how they can save Kira, because yes, Kira is still captured by Horizon. I've forgotten that. And I have also forgotten other things, like Horizon still has 2 Stinger missiles, and they fire one, and the helicopter their own crashes. And not only that, but our friend Varnak, the probably racist South African war criminal, is on the hunt for them. Crawford, Keegan, Drake, and some survive the fall. They grab some PGs, some machine guns, who are low range. It's PG-90s, I believe. Yes, P-90 some machine guns. The other side has AK-47, who have a longer range, and they're shooting at them. And they're leaving the helicopter, the wrecked helicopter, running away. Excitement. As for the folder, the crash tattered it. So there are papers of the folder all over the helicopter. Not sure if it will survive or not. I'm sure the team will survive though. Alright, in chapter 15, we leave the action because we have Anya. And Anya has broken her handcuffs since taken into the installation of the Horizon HQ, which was the prison. She was in prison 20 years ago in Afghanistan when she was captured, when her team was supposedly betrayed by her adopted father of sorts. So this brings back memories. I guess she also has a bomb in her Toyota to use as a diversion of sorts, because that's kind of implied, but never specifically explicitly said. And so as the mercenaries are taking her to the cells, one of them gropes her, because we have to hate these people. So as she's taken to her cell, she breaks the handcuffs, she beats up the two soldiers, maybe killing them. I mean, I've read it, but I cannot recall. Oh, yes, she kills them. And Kara is trying to recover from the way she was tortured. She broke, she told Horizon everything and knows she's dead, and she hears steps, so she knows that they're coming to kill her. But the door opens and surprise, surprise, it's Kat. You have to assume it's Anya, right? Also, first shot for the evening. I mean, there is action galore. And I'm not excited. Which is never good. Alright. This was Chapter 51 was the moment that made me go, yes! Yes, that's it. And let's start with the boring parts before we get to the big part, the good part. Drake and his team, they're on the fire and they try to retreat towards a farmhouse so they can they will be besieged by the mercenaries and probably take them out or rescued, because apparently that's what happens to Ryan Drake. He gets rescued a lot, which is not an exciting thing for an action hero. Let me tell you, if your action hero is getting rescued a lot, yeah, he shouldn't be the action hero. Alright? However, let's get to the good part, because Anya releases Kira. And Kira is surprised to see her, and she notices that something is off because Anya is wearing a wig. She's a brunette now and she has brown eyes instead of blue eyes because she has contacts. So she releases Kira. She goes outside, she fishes the cell phone of one of the guards, and then she takes the wig off, she takes the lenses off, and this is the scene where you have this metamorphosis. You have this, your hero revealing her true form. And then she calls a number and there's an explosion because there was a bomb in the pickup truck, and the wall of the prison that once held her crumbles. And that's how you write an action book. That's how you're the badass scene, because it's very strong on a symbolic level. You have your hero, because let's be honest, at this point I'm rooting for Anya. Anya is the hero, Drake is the sidekick. And that's my main problem with this book, that Anya is far more interesting. But we'll get there, alright? We'll get there. As a recap, she reveals her true form, she is released from her past, she lands a blow against her past and is out to kill the person who betrayed her. And Carpenter, who realizes something is off, is ready to take off with a helicopter. Maybe we know what will happen with a third stinger. Come to think of it, I don't know if Anya can use a stinger. However, they're not simple tools. Let me tell you, they're not that simple. Alright, Anya is a badass. Chapter 52, and what I like about Anya is that, alright, she's a badass female operator and she kills people easily. But this is done by acknowledging that she is smaller and weaker than her opponents. She's a woman. Yes, she's the type of woman you always meet when you go to a dojo. There's always this one girl who is small, she's petite, or she's very ordinary looking, and she can kick your ass. And that's like that. She's a trained killer, and she does kill, and she does that in a ruthless and very badass way. And I love her. Anya is awesome. Next time I watch a Critical Drinker video that he complains about women being, done wrong, but as women pouncing a guy and knocking him out, I'll say cheers, mate. You did this right in this book. You got this one right, and the reason she is not as dominant as her opponents actually does make her feel much more badass. So yeah, that's the good part. Then we have Drake and the shootout. His team manages to get to the compound they're aiming for, but Crawford is shot in the soldier. Then as some of the Horizon men get near him, he manages to kill one of them by emptying his entire magazine on him, but he's out of ammo, so he runs for it, and as he's running to the compound, Varnak takes aim, shoots at him with his AK-74. No, 74, it's 47. 74 is another weapon. And he manages to blow his tricep. No, his leg, basically. And hits an artery. So he's bleeding to death, and the other two Horizon men are getting closer. But Drake and Keegan take them out, and then they take Crawford to safety. They try to stop the bleeding, and they're waiting for their opponents to come, but they don't, because they're too busy incinerating the helicopter and the file on it. So yeah, that's where we are. Alright, picture me surprised. Anya is running amok throughout the Horizon HQ, and she finally confronts Carpenter. Meanwhile, Drake and his team are in the compound, and Drake is trying to protect McKnight, but she's like, no, I'm staying, I'm fighting, we're in this together. And indeed they are. And then the mercenaries unleash a hail of RPG rounds that blow the construction up, and they fight. They're down to their last bullets. Drake has a grenade land near him, but he throws it outside. Meanwhile, Keegan is doing his best. He runs out of ammo. He is sinking as bullets are around him, and a bullet hits him. Crawford is dead. Keegan is hit in the chest and he dies. And then another explosion happens, and things look very grim for Ryan and his team. So yeah, I wasn't expecting someone in Ryan's team to die. So yeah, color me surprised. I was expecting Crawford to die because he was disposable, but no, somebody died, someone important died. That's a shock. That raises some of the tension, I guess. Oh yeah. Let's make a toast for the fallen. Shall we? To the fallen. Oh yeah, and during all that, Ryan fails to tell Sam how he feels about her. Why do I love Anya? Listen to this. How did you get in? He asked. He couldn't help it. He had to know. That's Carpenter. She flashed a faint, knowing smile. With your training, Richard. You taught me everything I know, remember? That's so badass! Yes, he did remember. How could he ever forget? He had taught her to use everything at her disposal to complete her mission. How to shut out pain, weakness, and fear. How to kill without hesitation. He had helped mold her into the perfect soldier. And now here she was with a gun trained on him. Yeah, I mean, you get it. The writing is what you expect. It's descriptive, it's very... this is the type of a block of text I'll probably skim through, trying to get to the good part, but here it just works, because we have Anya. And we have Anya confronting her arch-rival. There's a connection between them, and she's completing her arc, and that's important. That's where a lot of things set up throughout the book are paying off, and payoff is always great. It's even better if the protagonist confronts the arc villain of the book. But what can I say? maybe it was Anya that was protagonist all along, and Ryan is her Watson, in which case it should have been the Anya thriller series, not the Ryan Drake thriller series. Remember how excited I was about Anya? Will Jordan, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy, and fuck this Ryan Drake character of his. Alright, so Anya has Carpenter down her sights, and yeah, that's great. But then we move to Drake, and Drake is in a tough spot. Samantha has a wall collapsed on her, and Ryan doesn't know if she's alive or dead. Vermac, what's his name? The South African guy who may not be racist after all, is over him. He's about to kill him. Of course, he's holding the folder, because you don't destroy the folder, you just keep it, even though you have it. It makes perfect sense. And I was like, yes, at least Ryan will take out the chief lieutenant of the arc villain. Alright, he has to take somebody out. So what happens is that as Vermac is about to kill Drake, he receives a call from Carpenter, who tells him to let Drake live. Probably because Anya told him to. Vermac, of course, is like, no way, I'm killing the bastard. I didn't lose all those men just to get back. I kill the bastard, I take the folder with me. But this gives enough time to Ryan to grab a piece of metal from the collapsed wall and drive it through his leg. They fight. Of course, he can't do much, but they hear some gunshots, and the other mercenaries in the building go down, and this gives Samantha, who's still alive, ample time to push Crawford's gun, his pistol, towards Drake. Drake grabs it. He kills Vermac unceremoniously, and then Cunningham comes in and say he shot the other two mercenaries. He's like, Drake, I couldn't let them kill you. No surprise there. And Ryan Drake is just alright, you can make a good work of action cinema or an action thriller with your main character being the sidekick, I guess, in that. I mean, Big Trouble in Little China did that. But here's just funny, you know, it's the woman who kicked the hornet's nest meets Bourne, I guess Bourne's ultimatum. It's Elizabeth Salander with spies, and it's called the Ryan Drake series. That's a disgrace. Alright, I'm a bit lost here. I guess the spell is broken after the previous chapter, but Anya is confronting Carpenter. We have this flashback where Carpenter was trying to drown her, to break her, but she breaks and kicks his ass and say, remember this. Remember that I could have done to. Remember what I could have done to you, after she stabs a knife right next to his face. So she tells him that she knew that Carpenter sold her out, that her captors actually played an audio recording of the deal he made with them to give them the team. But the way it's told, she returns to the agency and kills her adopted father, even though she knew he wasn't guilty. But he sacrificed himself to save her life. So sacrifice again is a theme, and oh fucking god, I mean, what the fucking hell? These people are too nihilistic even for me. Alright, end of part 4. and the chapter 55, and yeah, Anya is confronting Carpenter. She wants the name of the Russian general. She sold her and the team to Carpenter did for money, and after that she kills him in a kind of sadistic way and gloats about it. She has some great one-liners. I like Anya. Anya is great. Anya makes me want to go back into the first book because I would know more about her. And maybe the next book, because apparently it's a trilogy about Anya, about the spy who kicked the stinger's nest or something. Unfortunately, she didn't blow the helicopter as Carpenter was leaving. Instead, she goes to the roof, she takes the pilot hostage, and they leave to go towards the sunset. And I love this woman. This woman is awesome. This woman should have been the star of this book, and she's not. And there's a reason for that. Believe me. Part 5 Reconciliation starts with a speech of an army chaplain in Afghanistan about war.